Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hello.
All right, guys, we're back. Let's get right into it. We have things to talk about. All right, let's just jump right in. Checked out this week, the fifth episode of What If, is entitled What If Zombies. This is an interesting episode, where basically the Hulk comes, down to Bleecker Street, like he did in, the beginning of Endgame, Infinity War. And he's like, hey, Thanos is coming. Oh my God. Oh, holy shit. And there's like nobody around. And then he kind of walks outside and he realizes the world has been taken over by zombies. And, so then it just kind of sets off in an adventure. What did you think of this episode?
I think this episode was fine. I think your taste in this episode would depend on how much you like the idea of zombies. Mm-hmm. Me, myself, personally, I feel as though I'm kind of tired of zombies.
That's fair.
I've been tired of zombies for a while. And not that we've been inundated with zombies. Like at one point in pop culture, like we were inundated with zombies. Yeah. It was literally like zombies, everything. Zombies on the TV, zombies in movies, zombies in video games. It was all over the place. And I was really sick and tired of it. I don't think we're at that point anymore. But I don't know. I'm just I'm kind of done with the idea of zombies, particularly smart zombies. You know, if you're gonna do zombies, I like the classic slow moving dumb zombies because, you know, they are a representation of impending dread, right? Like you've got, like, you know that something's coming and you don't know how to stop it. And it's just coming and coming and coming. And that's what you have to do, right? You have to think before you get boxed in. Right. And then fast zombies and smart zombies. I mean, they're no different from just like regular bad guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're no different than the Chitauri, right? Like,
yeah, they're just so kind of mindless in that way. Yeah.
Right. So this wasn't my favorite. As a matter of fact, I think this is probably, while I enjoyed it, I had fun with it. It's if I had to rank the 5, this is on the bottom of the list so far. Now, what I do enjoy is I thought the way that they become zombies is a little clever. You know.
That was super smart.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with like more quantum stuff. We're doing spoilers for this, right?
Yeah.
The idea of a giant zombie is funny to me.
That's a problem.
Yeah. You know, if it and I guess I don't know, if you're gonna, it's weird, right? Seeing like the reason you make these characters zombies is because you want like zombies, but you like the idea of zombies using their superpowers. But again, like, it doesn't, like, Zombie Cap doesn't fight like Cap, right? Like, Zombie Iron Man shoots his repulsor blasts, but like, so would regular Iron Man.
No, that's a good.
I think it would
just less efficiently, probably.
Right. I think
really
it would be. I think it would be like more interesting if it was like, you know, I guess they already did this in Civil War, but if they had them, like, if they were like, if for some reason they were, I don't know, taken over by, like, if Ebony Maw was able to control the minds of half of these goddamn Avengers and doing it that way. But I guess they fought each other in Civil War, so I guess that really wouldn't make sense. But yeah, look, your mileage may vary with this episode. For me, it wasn't. I could take it or leave it.
Yeah. For me, I think it is definitely in the bottom rung of the episodes. I did have fun with it. Like I didn't find necessarily the idea of zombies like super duper interesting. Again, I'm not a person who watches like The Walking Dead or anything like that, and that's okay if you do. I don't give a shit. But so I'm largely over the genre, but I like the interaction between Spider-Man and Hope Van Dyne and stuff like that. Like I thought those were kind of fun. Like I enjoyed those sort of character moments. It was fine. It's fine. I wouldn't put it at the bottom. I would put it just above Captain Carter, and not because I didn't enjoy Captain Carter. I did, but Captain Carter is just such a general retelling of the first Avenger, which is why it gets the lowest rung for me. Cause it didn't do much new besides just swap in the genders. Like that's all it did. I would have liked to see more with that. Yeah, it's a big, and I also think what hurts it is it's coming off of an episode, the Doctor Strange episode, that was so good that it does hurt it. But I didn't think it was like awful by any means. It's just not the best, or it's the lowest rung of these, which I would still put as like pretty entertaining stuff. And I would have also liked to see a better, almost a better definitive ending, right? Like you could almost do that as a two-parter. I don't know. Like it feels like there was much more to tell there, but again, it just seemed like it was just going to repeat Infinity War, just with zombies, just with a zombie Thanos. So a zombie Thanos can use the gauntlet, like that seems a little odd to me.
Yeah, like if you're gonna do this, like I understand why you have to have a big cast so that some of them can be turned or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like I wanted more of them to become zombies. You know, the core group who was like together. I feel like I wanted more of them to become zombies or die or something like that, to really whittle it down to like one or two people, to figure out what they do in this situation. But
right.
I've seen enough of these movies to realize that, oh, okay, well, as soon as they found Vision and, you know, he's okay, I was like, well, something's up with Vision, right? Like, yeah. But his reasoning, while it makes sense for that character, I've seen that in zombie media before also. You know what I mean? Right. And I guess I'm not knocking the show for doing things that I've seen before. I mean, that's kind of what Marvel does, right? Like they take ideas and concepts that you've seen before, but then they put like the Marvel sheen on it, right?
Right.
And I think that's one of the reasons why they're incredibly successful. I'm just like not into zombies. I'm not into zombies. I'm not into vampires. I'm not into werewolves. I'm not into the occult, like stuff like that. Like if any of those four things are in your
I love how it's like, these are all, it's all a very general, I don't like the occult. I don't like occult shit.
Yeah, I don't like occult shit. You know what I mean? People, John Constantine's got a TV show. I don't give a fuck. Who cares?
Yeah, but when Blade comes out, you're gonna be all there. So
look. The only reason I give Blade a pass is because Blade is black. If Blade was white, I would not care as much about Blade.
That is a very fair assessment. That's a very fair assessment.
Like, come on, yo.
Right.
Like,
there's a level of style to the character there. It's like, all right.
Because you usually don't see black people. You know why? Because you usually don't see black people in shit like that. And that's part of the reason too, right? Like, you don't, for me anyway, right? Like I already don't like the genre, and then I'm not represented in it in any way. Forget that.
Yeah, it's a 0 out of 0 for me. Right. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Yeah, I do wonder, like, if Blade was a white character, would that character have been nearly as popular, like movie wise? I don't think so.
I don't think so, man.
I don't think so.
I think he would just be I think he would just be like a regular dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so. He wouldn't like. I don't. And there's nothing about Blade being black. Like Blade doesn't have to be black. There's nothing about Blade's blackness that defines him. But if he wasn't, I wouldn't care.
I think that Blade being black absolutely defines one thing: his fan base. Like, I think so. Yeah, no, that's very true. So yeah, it was fine. It was fine. Didn't hate it. It was fine. I'm hoping that they go a little bit bigger. So we have 4 more episodes. I think you get, like I said last week, I think you get one more sort of dark kind of focused one before we kind of start making our way to the sort of triumphant ending. And by the way, dude, I told you, I said it would likely be a dark episode with the zombies. I was correct. It's not really that much of a dude I told you, but
it is, because somebody sent me something that looked completely fake, and it was like, oh, here's the order of the shows, and they were like, the episode was this episode 5. They were like, episode 5 is going to be like Party Thor or some shit, and I'm like, wait. I don't know, yo. Like, this doesn't seem legit, right? Like, you took it's a picture of the logo followed by a red background with generic white lettering. Like, this don't seem like something
it's not official.
That would come from, right. That don't seem like something official. I can't remember who sent it to me, but like, whoever sent that to me, dude, I told you to that guy.
It's just that one guy.
Like, stop believing everything you see on the internet.
Right. I was just speculating just based on like how you would work a narrative. Like, they're not just going to haphazardly do things. Like they put them. Man. It's like putting together like an album, right? Like, you don't, like, you put song orders. They don't just produce 12 songs and just throw them in. Like, putting them in order to make people feel a certain way. That's important. Like,
yeah, to take you on a ride, man. Right. You don't put a headbanger next to a love song. You know
right.
I mean?
Like, that don't work. You need something in between that. So yeah, I think it's going to be at least one more dark one, like, or at least semi-dark. I think Party Thor is going to be on the fun triumphant end, right? Like, that's what that's going to be.
You got to leave them. You got to leave them happy.
Yeah, it can't just be dour like the whole time. And Doctor Strange's universe fucking died. See you next season. Jesus Christ! What? That's it? All right, so let's talk about, this is our spoiler conversation for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. There is a non-spoiler review of that movie. You can find it on our YouTube page, youtube.com/the Nerdpocalypse, which is where you're watching this video, or you can listen to the audio version of it in the Coming Distractions podcast feed. So check that out. All right, we're going to talk spoilers for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Okay. We both loved the movie. We thought it was really great. Not a perfect movie by any means. Great origin story inside the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So let's talk about more in depth the things that we liked. Look, we mentioned the father, right? Pull up.
Yeah, Tony Leung.
Tony Leung
plays Wenwu. Look, man, this character is he's up there for me in terms of MCU characters and MCU antagonists. He is he's played expertly by a guy who is a legend in Chinese cinema, and he's the sympathetic character that everyone, you know, or that like, there was a point where like, well, we have to understand our villains, right? Like, so that we can relate to them, so that we understand why. And I get that, right? I do, but sometimes you just want a bad guy to be a bad guy,
right? I don't need to get the super detailed origins of like a maniac, like the Joker,
right? Yeah. But this character, it was heartbreaking, man. Like, yeah, I can't say that I wouldn't do what he did in this movie if in the situation, right? Given the situation.
Right. Like when you meet him in the very beginning where they're just kind of telling the legend of quote unquote the Mandarin, which is not a name he goes by. He's like, that's an orange. That's ridiculous. Like he's a warlord, right? Like he literally sets his army up against another army. He's like, nah, I got it. I'm gonna handle this shit on my own. And just goes and fucks them up with the 10 rings by himself, which was dope. And then he meets this woman, played by Fala Chen, named Ying Li, who he falls in love with. And he ends up like hanging up the rings, and he's like, I'm just going to be a better man. And like he does it legitimately. Not like fake to her. Like he legitimately is changed by love. And he's like, I was a piece of shit and I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to be this good guy and raise my kids and just be a wonderful person. And his decision based on love and this kind-hearted like motive cost his wife her life because he's not there to protect her in that moment. And then he's like, oh, you killed my wife? Oh, the rings go back on. Time to go fuck shit up.
Let me tell you something, yo.
I get it.
I got a dad boner watching that scene of Tony Leung in an 80s Miami Vice style.
He went and fucked those people up, dude.
With the sleeves up on the suit.
Right. As you do. His son, he holding his son's hand. You're like, all right, which one of them did it? And the son just points to him, little Asian Wallace from The Wire, he points to him, and he was just like, all right, you sit back there, I'm gonna go fuck him up. And then he's just fucking be like, yo, yep. That's some dad energy right there. Yeah,
man.
like I like that, right? And then he's like, basically, his issue with his son is fucked up, but he's like, you weren't there to protect your mother, right? And so I need to train you to actually protect your family. And it's like / murder people for me, right? So he was like, yeah, I spent way too much time being all soft and shit. It's time to get to work. And you know, he's got this sister who is equally as capable as her brother, but because of sexism, she's not taught to fight. So she teaches herself how to fight by watching the boys. Like there are many layers to the Sins of the Father story here, which is an overly common thing in the MCU, right? Like Tony Stark had it, like fucking
Peter Quill has it.
T'Challa has it. Yep, T'Challa has it. Like
T'Challa has it.
Yeah, there are quite a lot of characters that have this sort of Sins of the Father thing, right? And it's nice to see a bad guy who is like he's bad, but he had given it up. Like he had legitimately was like, no, this is fucked up what I was doing. Like I'm gonna turn over a new leaf. But through grief is why he comes back. And through that grief and actually being so heartbroken and missing his wife, he's unconsciously going to destroy the world, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like with that What If episode, right? With Doctor Strange, right? It's the same scenario. His wife, or in Doctor Strange's case, his girlfriend dies, and grief drives him into madness. Yeah.
He's willing to do anything. Which I think is just a powerful thing, right? I liked, obviously, Simu Liu's, his arc of this like wayward son who, you know, just trying to live like real low off the grid type of shit, like parking cars for a living. Because he's so terrified of having to go back and be this living weapon that his dad created, right? I also like the fact that like he was like, nah, I killed that guy. Like, remember when I said I didn't? Nah, I did that shit. Like I was 14 and I straight murdered him. Like giving him some depth. Like he still has to come to terms with that, right? Like instead of what would have happened in a like stereotypical early Marvel movie is like, I didn't do it and I ran away because I'm a great person. Like, nah, yo. Right. He wasn't trained to be a good person. He was trained to do what his dad told him to do, and he did it.
Jay, why didn't he just fly him to the moon and fight Zod there?
Why didn't they just move away from people? Because like, it's a movie. It's a movie.
Like, yo,
that's the dumbest argument of all time. I to this day, like I'm not a Zack Snyder apologist, but they fought there because like that's interesting to watch. It's not interesting to watch them fight in a Dragon Ball Z empty field. That's dumb. Get out of here. That makes no sense. Just fly him to the moon, bro. All right. Why don't you fly to the moon? So yeah, like I liked their sort of issue, right? And I like that the sister played by Meng'er Zhang, Zhu Zialang or Zhu Zialing,
Jialing.
Jialing. Okay, sure. There you go. That's what I said. Sorry for mispronouncing it. I like that she was like, nah, I'm not gonna be you and be like low level. I'm gonna start my own underground fighting ring because like she's not a solidly good person. And she has layers. And clearly, like you said in our review, they have plans for her.
Yeah, man, they got plans for her, and they got plans for the 10 Rings. Look, I'm
gonna see if you make the same connection my nephew made after we watch it.
Look, it is my opinion that the 10 Rings are going to be the MCU's version of what the Hand should have been.
Oh,
the Hand was a super secret ninja organization led by a badass woman, and on the Netflix show, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. But
it was like a corporate conglomerate. It was like, what? Right. We're gonna dig a hole under New York. Okay.
Like, nah, yo. Like, no. This woman, this super secret organization led by this badass woman is going to do what the Hand does and just be fucking badasses. Just be fucking assassins and shit. Like, they're going to create the new world order through strategic assassinations. Like, that's what I think the 10 Rings are going to end up being.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. My nephew and I were talking about it when we saw it, and he was thinking, and this is where I kind of went too. I think we're going to see a connection between her and the Power Broker. I think that's likely. This underground. You go from underground fighting. They're in East Asia. Madripoor is in Asia. I could see somehow the Power Broker gets involved with her, and it becomes some. I don't know about the Hand necessarily, though I think that's a really great idea. By the way, they could just be called the Hand. Like, they could just change their names.
I think they're just going to distance themselves from all that Netflix stuff. I think they're just going to distance themselves from it.
That's fine.
I don't think they're going to put like Iron Fist in the MCU. The only thing I think they should take from it, that they might take from it, maybe, is Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, and that's it.
You don't even think they bring the other people?
No, I don't. Because their powers aren't interesting enough.
No. I don't mean any of those other fucking yahoos. I'm talking about the other people on Daredevil. I mean, bringing Charlie Cox, Foggy, and Deborah.
Maybe Foggy and Deborah, just because like they're a trio. You know what I mean?
I would take those four.
Yeah. But that's it.
That's it. I don't want none of it. Like, people are like, oh, no, Iron Fist is good. No. That dude was like, I don't want to work out. I don't want to learn the move.
Hey, I don't want to train.
Nah, yo. I want to have a yoga body. You're supposed to be all right. Like, you're supposed to be an amazing martial artist, yo. Like,
you're supposed to be a living weapon.
Yeah. Like, if the weapon is a 5-foot dildo from fucking that one video game, then yeah, he's a living weapon. Get out of here. But like, I don't need any of those other characters. I don't need John Bernthal back as Punisher. I don't need any of that. I need to recast all of it. John Bernthal should be with Logan. Period. I don't need any of that. Like, just get rid of it. Daredevil is where it ends. Boom, hard line. Rest of it is scrapped. We're done.
I'm fine with that.
Fine with it. Like, because they're the most compelling ones. They're easily the most compelling. So yeah, look, I could see a team up between her and the Power Broker. I think that would be kind of interesting. Underground women doing it, sisters doing it for themselves, and only for themselves.
Until the inevitable breakup, right? Because those are two alpha females, right? Like, you can't have those two working together, right?
And they're both tied to heroes. Like, that's also super interesting too, right? Like, they come together, eventually break apart. Are they both then ultimate villains, or like where do they end up? Like that could be super interesting inside the MCU.
Yeah,
I could see it. Another thing you and I touched on in our general review, Michelle Yeoh as Ying-Nan, Shang-Chi's aunt. She was great. She was great. I would love to see more of her in the MCU.
Yeah, Michelle Yeoh is again another legendary actor. This Marvel movie had Tony Leung, Michelle Yeoh, and Ben Kingsley in it.
Oh yeah, sorry,
this little comic book movie that it had these three legendary actors in it. It's just amazing to me, man. Like, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, Michelle Yeoh, she's great. She's great. She's literally great in everything. Yeah. The scenes in Ta Lo, well, in the beginning, right during the courtship between Tony Leung's character and Fala Chen's character, was beautiful, and I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it to start off like that. I was like, "Oh, we doing this?" Like I thought this was just going to be like Rumble in the Bay. You know what I mean? Like this is, but nah.
I don't like you. I don't like you.
But this is beautiful, man. It was beautiful. I loved it. The fact that like 15-20% of this movie is in Mandarin, Chinese.
That was kind of nice. I was not expecting as much subtitled scenes in the beginning. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. And it's like they're speaking Chinese where they should be speaking Chinese, right? Or they're speaking English in situations where it makes sense for them to speak English.
Right.
Like,
I know ABCs.
Like they're not like, practice your English. Like nah, yo. Like
why would I do that?
Us. It's just us. We could talk in our native language. All the scenes at the end, CGI was a little spotty, but I get it. And I really was not expecting that whole third act for the film to turn into a fantasy film. I dug it.
Not like that.
Yeah, no. But I dug it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. The San Francisco bus fight was fun. Look, the fight choreography is the best in the MCU. Period.
Easily the best.
Even better than in Iron Fist, a show about a guy who knows fucking martial arts.
Right. No, he doesn't. But go ahead.
No, he doesn't. He and his stunt people barely do too. I saw the honest trailer of that.
I just watched it.
It's like, oh, we got to find convenient ways to mask Finn Jones or whatever the hell his stupid name is. Best fight choreography in the MCU. The San Francisco bus fight was fun. When he got on the roof at one point and then jumped around, I was like, you looking kind of burly brawlish there, right? Yeah. You're looking kind of rubber band man-ish there. But the fight in China with the scaffolding,
that was fun.
And I really enjoyed it. That was fun. It was beautiful. It was dark, but not too dark. Like you could still see what people were doing.
These Asians, they love a bamboo scaffolding. The fight choreography the Death Dealer, as Leonardo pointed out, kind of got phasmed, kind of got jogged out. Yeah. I was also hoping that maybe that character was someone, and that was going to get revealed. Because I thought, and like, who the fuck knows? I thought there was a possibility after it was like, and my mother died, and then all of a sudden like this Death Dealer character shows up. I was like, so that's his mom then? like being mind controlled by the 10 rings or some shit like that. And then Death Dealer died. I was like, oh, okay, no then. Got it. But yeah, no, Leonardo's right. It was a little bit of a Phasma kind of thing. I was hoping for a much bigger fight between Death Dealer.
Like I would have expected Razor Fist to be, Razor Fist got more time than the Death Dealer. I was not expecting.
Yeah, I mean, that's white Hollywood, I suppose. Like a little bit.
It is what it is. Even Black Panther had a white supporting character. That's fine. I'm just
right. That was Ben Kingsley. I know. I'm just saying I guess maybe Razor Fist gets more time. It could be the white thing. I don't know, but it could also be that like you can see his face, like right. So that could be part of it. But Death Dealer's look was so goddamn good. I would have loved to see, like, to me, Death Dealer's whole thing, like the fight between the two of them should have been almost like brother and sister had to take on Death Dealer together, right? Like to really to take him on, and then Shang-Chi, after he's like fully realized and gets like his Kamehameha or whatever, then he can take on his dad, and that's what it was. That's what it was. And I'm fine with it.
It's all anything is, right?
Right.
Like, everything is a MacGuffin to get to the next point.
Yeah.
Trevor Slattery came back.
Yeah, I think we all saw that one coming about a mile away.
Yeah, although I don't think I needed him throughout the third act. Like, he wasn't there for a lot of it, but like he was there as an interpreter for Morris.
Right. The faceless mythical animal.
But he was fine. He didn't overstay his welcome. He was fine. It was funny seeing that dude from Kim's Convenience in the movie, being a hard ass. That was him, right?
Wait, who?
Aquafina?
No, that's not him. You're racist.
That's not him?
That's not the father, yo.
That's not the father, yo?
No, you're racist.
I've never seen Kim's Convenience. So
that guy is a heavier gentleman. No, the dad from Kim's Convenience is he was in The Mandalorian. He was one of the pilots of an X-Men.
Oh yeah, he was one of the pilots, right?
Yeah, he's in the other Disney nerd franchise. Okay.
I'm a racist, guys.
Yeah. Like, it was funny because like Simu Liu like posted a thing of like a conversation between his character on Kim's Convenience and Appa, who is the name of the father or the nickname for the father on Kim's Convenience, and but it was his Shang-Chi like little action figure next to the guy's Star Wars action figure. Like, how did we get here? Like, what's going on? But yeah, they're in two different franchises. It would have been awesome if he had a cameo though. Like, that would have actually been pretty cool.
Benedict Wong. I feel like Benedict Wong is like, yo, you're not gonna have me play this stereotypically like Asian butler to Doctor Strange and then not put me in this Asian-led martial arts movie. Like, you're not going to do it.
Yeah, I feel like he went to them.
I'm going to be in it.
Like, I'm happy that I was wrong that it was him. It still doesn't really make sense why he's cage fighting. I would just like to point that out. Like, for my own, like, to give myself credit, it still doesn't make any sense. Like, he was just there.
He was fixing fights. You got to make your money somehow.
Yo, that's fucked up. Wong is a scam artist. But I did like that he used the portals to have Abomination punch himself in the face, which was funny. But like, weirdly, him and Abomination are cool. So like,
yeah.
What? Like,
that's weird.
Yeah, that's a bit weird because the last time we saw Abomination, he was on the raft, right? So I guess he got blinked out of existence for 5 years and then just showed up somewhere else. And they were just like, fuck it, whatever. You just go about your day. One thing I will say about that scene, I didn't like the facial work they did on Abomination to make him kind of look more human. I didn't need that. Like, I like the traditional, like, everything from like cutting out his face, everything back looked great, but then it was like a weird, like, very human face. I was like, and I don't even know if it really looked like Tim Roth. I like, it was for such a split second. It just didn't. I was like, that's really weird.
I don't think it did. I don't think they were allowed to make it look like Tim Roth. You know what I mean?
Well, Roth is coming back to play the character in
but if you make it look like Tim Roth, then you got to give him credit and then you got to pay him.
Yeah, that's fair. That's why it makes even less sense to make it more human looking. It was strange, but
or just let it be like a different monster.
Yeah, you could have done that too. But either way, I mean, he's a recognizable character, so it was kind of fun. I like Cam in the on our Discord was saying that if you notice in that sort of underground fight scene, one of, like, when they showed all those other matches, like there was one of the soldiers from that had the extremists.
Yeah, there was extremist warrior. I think there was a widow in there too.
Yeah, somebody pointed that out. Yeah, it was so much going on. I like totally missed that.
Yeah. There was an extremist soldier. There was a widow. There was Ronnie Chiang, who's just
awesome.
Look, he's just funny. He's just funny.
That dude's got one of the best stand-ups on Netflix right now, by far.
Yeah, he does. You should watch it. It's really funny. What else about the movie? The first end credits scene. Look, I like the idea that I think this phase in the MCU, let's just call it the all new, all different phase.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
I like the idea of this character. This character is the first in a new wave of Marvel movies, right?
Yep.
I don't know if you're going to get too much of the Captain America style military action thrillers anymore.
Well, you got one more Captain America movie coming up.
You do. But I feel like, and I think they've even said it, that they're going to focus more on like getting weird. We'll focus more on cosmic stuff, right? Which I'm perfectly fine with, because you know what cosmic stuff means? It means the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And I'm perfectly fine with that. But I like the idea of this character being like the Iron Man of this all different phase, right?
What do you mean by
like in that he's the first, he has the potential. Simu Yu is young enough that he has the potential to be a bit of a through line for a phase of movies. Like Iron Man is the through line throughout the first three phases, right?
Yeah,
like even movies that he's not in, like the Spider-Man movies, they are like he has a presence there.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is what they're gonna do with this next phase. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. But I like the idea, I like the potential of that idea.
Okay.
But yeah, man. Look, it's a fun movie, man. I can't wait to be able to watch it at home a month from now.
Absolutely. I do want to touch on one thing that I saw a theory. You and I watched very similar videos on YouTube, so you probably watched this already. This theory that the 10 rings are also coinciding with the 10 Eternals, which I think is interesting. And that's
because they did say like, oh, these are otherworldly, and they don't because they don't know where they're from, and yeah.
Like if these are somehow representing them, or some level of connection to them, that could be incredibly interesting as far as tying those powers. They were tying those two movies together. What also is really interesting is I like that they didn't say like they don't have this, like with that first end credit scene, they don't have this whole like we're trying to put together an initiative. It's just like your life is going to change from now on. Welcome to the fucking circus. Like that's it. Like you're in. Like you're in now. Like there's no bullshit. You are in. Let's go. We got shit to do. Right? So also, there's no build up to that.
Also, is Awkwafina an Avenger now?
Yes, Awkwafina is an Avenger.
Holy shit.
Come on with me. Okay, I mean, I just park cars. I don't really have anything else to do. I'm glad you actually brought that up before we kind of move away from this. I liked that Awkwafina's character wasn't just the dumb relief, right? Like the dumb comedy relief. She also was...
She had a story. She went from one place to another place. She
right.
had an arc.
But to me, it's... And look, I'm not of this culture, but knowing just from an outsider's perspective about this aspect of the culture, I think it's interesting, right? Which is this sort of like the like you need to push yourself, you need to be top student, top accomplished person, kind of Tiger Momish kind of thing in especially in East Asian culture, right? And for her character to be kind of wayward, and like even her friend is like, yo, you have like a degree from Princeton or whatever, and you're parking cars. Like, what the fuck are you doing? For her to then find this thing that she's like, you know, she's good at, or like finds meaning when they go to Tallow, like that was kind of interesting, right? And I mentioned it in our regular review of this, but that line that woman gives her, you aim at nothing, you hit nothing, was incredibly important to her, right? Like, you've never tried to do anything, which is why you haven't accomplished anything. It's not that you're not capable. And when given the ability, like I'm sure racist assholes would say like she's a Mary Sue, but it's not that she's a Mary Sue. She's actually an incredibly capable person, but she's never tried because she's never had a reason to try. And when she got a reason to try, she was able to accomplish great things. That's an incredibly powerful character arc. What I'd like to see, I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but what I would like to see is I would love for her to be there next to Shang-Chi, and I'm fine with it, but I'm going to need them to do Agents of Atlas. That's what I want. And I am so very bummed. That one of the extra credit scenes in this movie wasn't involving Jimmy Woo sort of joining like SHIELD or whatever and being like, we need you to go to East Asia your first assignment is to go talk to this guy. Like that would have been kind of dope. I don't know if they're going to do it, but it would be awesome.
I'd have been happy if he was just like in San Francisco at like a Starbucks or something and saw the bus like, oh shit, like what the happened? Like just to have Randall Park in there, because Randall Park is awesome.
At everything. He really is. He really is. And he should be way more popular than he is. But I would love for them to do like it don't have to be a spinoff where you get like 3 movies, but like one Agents of Atlas movie or one of the Shang-Chi movies, because he's going to get 3. Like, let's get real. He'll probably get 2 or 3. Like, make that like Shang-Chi Agent of Atlas or something like that. And then like that one is bringing together this team of East Asian heroes. I think that would be fucking dope. Why not? Yeah. So yeah, all in all, really enjoyed it. Thought it was a lot of fun. Looking forward to the next thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get on to the main show. Science and Tech this week. Those crafty folks over at Moderna, who make the only real vaccine that's being given out, not like that Pfizer nonsense. Or Johnson & Johnson. Come on, guys. That's just lotion. Knock it off.
What are you doing,
Johnson?
Just put Visine in your veins. Get out of here.
Oh no, it works. Oh, it's one shot, guys. That's not how vaccines work now. Everyone knows. No, but in all seriousness, and I have to say that because some people are dumb enough to think we're being serious. Yeah, they're all real. The good folks over at Moderna are working on a combination COVID-19 vaccine booster shot and flu shot combo, right? For, it's like a bucket of chicken you get for like $5.99, you get everything, right?
Yeah, you get mild and spicy.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. That's a deal. That's a deal. Moderna said on Thursday that it's developing a single vaccine that combines booster dose and its experimental flu shot. The company hopes to eventually add vaccines to its vaccines it's working on for respiratory syncytial virus and other respiratory diseases as an annual shot. We believe that there's a very large opportunity that's ahead of us if we could bring it to market a high efficacy pan-respiratory annual booster. Look, I think that's very cool. If you are interested and you are intellectually curious, you should do some reading on mRNA, the technology behind this and how they do this. It's really fascinating. The CDC actually has a lot of information. You can watch videos if you don't like to read on how they use mRNA tech to build these vaccines and why it's possible to do like multiple vaccines or multiple things in one shot. It's actually really, really super interesting, which is not the same as having a dual shot of something, but putting in multiple vaccines into one shot is is possible. I'm sure it's going to take time for them to develop it, but it is possible. But yeah, this is really super neat technology. And like, I just think about a future where you have one shot as a kid and it has like 20 vaccines in it.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. So
which is very cool.
Get like that's what the MMR vaccine is, right? MMR stands for measles, mumps, and rubella, and that's all in one shot.
Right.
The vaccine that you took when you were a child, but for some reason you're afraid to take a vaccine now because they made it quickly. I don't know. Look, if you are not vaccinated and you're listening to this, unsubscribe. Yeah, just do it. Because you're the reason that we are not out of this yet. You are.
I mean, it's not. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like you are, dude.
Jesus Christ, man! I would love for all these fucking movies to come out, man. Fucking Mission Impossible is not coming out now because your stupid ass won't take a goddamn vaccine.
And Top Gun Maverick. I would like to, like, this, we have a whole year. I saw an article on like Deadline. They were like, this is another year without a Tom, like, can the world go a whole year without a Tom Cruise movie? Can Tom Cruise survive? I'm like, Tom Cruise will be fine.
Tom Cruise is fine.
Yeah, but I would like to see those movies. They look very good. Like, I would love to see it. I want to see James Bond and not be like, ooh, I got to see it at 4 a.m.
Yeah, man, sure I had to take off work to see Shang-Chi at 1 p.m. and I had to wear a fucking mask the entire time. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. I saw Shang-Chi 11:05 on a Saturday morning. I sat in the very back of the reserved I'm Better Than You seats, and I didn't have to wear a mask. It was great. But I had to go at 11 o'clock in the morning. By the way, this is one thing I do miss about movies, like going to see them in theaters when because I only really go see the movies in theaters when it's a screener for the most part. There wasn't a lot of people in it. So like, you didn't get the full Marvel experience, right? Of like collectively everybody knowing who these characters showing up are and like cameos and things like that, where like we can all collectively, I remember in that movie.
You didn't get the Cap grabbing that Mjolnir scene,
right? Yo,
you know
look,
I mean?
I'm glad I got to see that with like a bunch of fucking reviewers who are all mega nerds, and you and I were there, and it was awesome. Like everybody was like, the fucking place like blew up when that shit happened. Can you imagine if Endgame came out now and you got to see it with like 5 people in the theater? I'd be like, come on, man! Like, is anyone seeing this? This is awesome.
Just a smattering. Just a smattering of applause. Like, yo, he's worthy, guys.
Like, we've waited 20 years to see.
Fucking get hype.
Right. That's the one thing I was just like, this is why I could just watch it at home. Like, you know what I mean? Like at the same time, I just watch it at home. So yeah, just get the fucking vaccine for the love of God. I did get a message. I need to respond to the person. I did get a message from somebody, in response to our last Black on Black Cinema episode about the Tuskegee experiments. They were like, yeah, after listening to your show, I decided I was really being ridiculous and I need to get the vaccine. So I did. I was like, good.
Good, man. Good for you.
Good.
Seriously, good for you.
And it's not a bullying thing. I don't want you to die.
Yeah, man. Like,
I still want you to be safe.
You to die. I don't want you to be a carrier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and you don't want to get somebody you care about infected and they get sick. You don't want that.
I know. Look, I know a guy. He got his daughter sick. His daughter is too young to get it. Man,
is that guy okay? By the way,
he's doing better.
Is he still in the hospital?
No, he's not in the hospital anymore.
Good.
But he's still not breathing like he normally did.
Ugh.
But like his little girl said that she wasn't hungry and she didn't like the food because she couldn't taste it. And this girl's like 4 or 5, man.
Yeah. Like,
come on, man. Like
it's not worth it.
It's for the greater good, man. Like,
it is.
Just get the fucking vaccine, man. God damn it.
Look, I want to see Spider-Man and not wear a mask. If you guys could just please Get it together. Just get it together, man. That's all I want to do. I just want to watch Spider-Man. Is that so hard? Can we all agree that I should be able to watch Spider-Man without a mask? If nothing else, can we come together on that? My Spidey, my choice. So yeah, that's very cool. Hopefully Moderna is able to pull that off. I don't know how soon, but that's very cool. All right. Topics this week.
All right, look, we're going to talk about a Resident Evil movie. I keep forgetting that this is an actual thing. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is a thing.
Like, why isn't it called Coon City? I feel like that's a mistake.
Why isn't it called by its Japanese name, which is much better, Biohazard? I never understood I never liked the American title for this franchise.
Resident Evil?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Exactly. Yeah, because they were in a mansion in the first game. Nah, yo, call it Biohazard, because that's what it is. A fucking biohazard that turned everybody into zombies and shit.
Again, I need to ask the question because I don't think it's ever been answered. What is the Umbrella Corporation's motivation? They keep spreading the thing for what?
They're evil. Evil is that they produce evil. They manufacture evil.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, why are they killing everyone so we can make a world of zombies? Why? Yeah, it's just that just never, like, I honestly think that's the biggest issue with this franchise. It quite literally doesn't make any sense. The villain's motivation makes no sense.
It is a British-based international pharmaceuticals company, founded in 1968. It uses they do genetic engineering, so that's but I don't know what the legitimate status is only a front for their secret bioorganic weapons organization. I mean, I don't know what they produce pharmaceutical goods and medical supplies.
And Nemesis.
Secretly, they want to produce evil.
Okay.
Anyway, the new Biohazard Welcome to Raccoon City. Second of all, Raccoon City sounds fucking racist. It does.
It does. Yeah, I'm not living in Raccoon City.
Sorry. I'm not living in Coon Town.
I'm not living in Coon City. I'm not. Like, I'm not living in Coon City, and I'm not living in Lynchburg, Virginia. You know, like, these are places I'm not going. Come on down to Lynchburg. I'm good. I'm gonna take the long route. What's the long route around? I'm not even driving through. No.
But we have our first look at this movie, I guess, that is coming out. It is coming out November 24th of this year. Wow.
What? Okay. All right. November. 2 months from now. Okay. All right. Look. I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait to watch it. I'm gonna watch the shit out of this.
Look, depending on where this is, like if it's streaming somewhere, then
nigga, it's gonna be streaming. Okay, it's gonna be streaming somewhere. Get the fuck out of here. No, who's going to see this in theaters? They gonna do the only in theaters for this?
Yeah.
You got to knock that off.
You got balls on you. Welcome to Raccoon City.
Only in theaters. Get the fuck out of here.
This is pretty much nothing to do with the previous franchise. This is all about returning to the games and creating a movie that was much more of a horror movie than the sort of sci-fi action film that were made previously. That is a quote from, I think that is the director. So
Johannes Roberts.
So they're taking inspiration from the game, which, is good for people who really like the game, but bad for people who really like movies. And
God damn,
this franchise has the possibility of being a good movie franchise if they take it seriously, like if you throw some money behind this could have been, I mean, maybe it will be, I doubt it, but maybe it will be a big hit. But this franchise, following the earlier games, could be a very good zombie style movie.
Now, you don't like zombies. Are you interested in this?
I don't. And if this doesn't get like either rave reviews positively or just like this is the worst fucking movie you'll ever see, but it is hilariously bad movie, then I'm not wasting my time. Like I'm not gonna watch this no matter how convenient it is for me to watch it, unless it is phenomenal or the worst piece of trash / funniest comedy, unintentional comedy I've ever seen. And look, I'm not terribly impressed with the costuming. You know, they got Leon here as in his Raccoon City uniform. Okay, I mean, I guess that's the best you can do with that uniform, but I don't know, man. And then you have Tom Hooper as Wesker, Chad Rock as Richard Aiken, and Hannah John Common as Jill. Jill is in it, and Robbie Amell as Chris Redfield. Not Steven, Robbie. They couldn't even get the B-lister of those two. They had to get the C-lister. So
look, I'm gonna tell you, Robbie Amell gives me that's not good vibes. I'm not getting good vibes. Look, you know, Hannah John came in as Jill Valentine. That's the woman from who played Ghost in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She's a pretty good actress. So I also like looking at her. So that's cool. Okay.
We'll see.
I'll tell you this. Donald Logue being in it, I'm okay with that. And Neil McDonough is in it. I like Neil McDonough, but Neil McDonough does a lot of bad movies.
Yeah, he was in that Street Fighter movie, the bad one. The bad one.
I'm like, you're gonna need to be more specific. Yeah, wasn't he in Bison?
He was Bison.
No, he wasn't. Nah, yo, he's Bison's little cousin. Like, get out of here. See Bison. Like, knock it off. No, man. I don't know. I'm gonna need to see a trailer.
No,
and by the way, this is a lot of mainline characters very early on. Claire and Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, like
Jill was in the first game.
Leon?
Leon and Claire were in the second game.
I was gonna say, I didn't think you had all of them right off the jump.
Chris, Jill, Wesker, Brian, William Birkin. I think William Birkin. No, I think Birkin was in the second one. I can't remember, but Chris, Jill, and Wesker were part of the Stars team in the first one. Then Claire and Leon and Ada came in the second one.
So wait, Wesker is the villain, right? He's a bad guy.
Wesker is part of Stars, but I think he ends up being like a double agent working for Umbrella, and then he has his own evil motives. Look, Wesker is a badass character. And Wesker is, we talked about Wenwu being one of those characters that's like a villain, but like you can see his point of view and he's very sympathetic. And no, that ain't Wesker. Wesker is a bastard for being a bastard's sake. Right? Like he's like a good old fashioned mustache twirling, rocket throwing villain.
Introduced in the first game, Wesker has been one of the main antagonists throughout the series, where he usually manipulates story events behind the scenes. Wesker seeks to replace humanity through mass extinction and forced evolution, believing it to be an evolutionary dead end. To this end, he is affiliated with the Umbrella Corporation as one of its most promising researchers, and at the same time participates in illicit activities by going undercover as a Stars captain in Raccoon City.
I don't know how you go undercover as a captain of an elite unit, but okay.
Isn't he the one? Wasn't Wesker in that like cut scene of like him having that shootout with somebody rolling around on that like rooftop?
I don't.
It was from one of those video games that was absolutely insane.
I think that was from one of the CG Resident Evil movies.
Nah, no, it wasn't.
Wesker.
I want that in live action. That's what I want.
Wesker had to fight Chris and Sheva in Resident Evil 5 inside of a volcano, inside of an active volcano. And at one point, Wesker had to save Sheva by like punching a boulder. Like this nigga is literally giving fucking kidney shots to a boulder. And you as the player have to jam on the button to keep doing it. Yo, Resident Evil 5 is fucking wild. Like it is well beyond like scary and shit. But it's stupid. It's wild, man. And it's racist as fuck too, yo. Like they had African zombies in grass skirts chucking spears.
That's so racist. It's funny. Like it like a white person was like, nah, this is reasonable. Like, oh, okay. No one in the boardroom was like, this feels wrong.
A Japanese person said, this is reasonable.
Oh, all right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. I know all about America's history. Let's have this white man with a big ass desert eagle and a black woman on his side, because diversity, right? Like, you just stay back there while I kill your ancestors and your cousins who are coming at us with fucking in grass skirts throwing spears and shit.
Wow.
That shit was wild, man. I love that Resident Evil though.
See, this is why racism persists. This is why it persists.
And they put some light-skinned zombies in there. Like, oh, see, they're white. Like it's in Joburg, right? Like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Stop it.
No, stop it. Stop fucking lying. But yeah, anyway, these pictures, I mean, they ain't doing nothing for me.
All right, that's fair.
Next up, Netflix saved Manifest and announced its final season. So Manifest is a TV show about a plane crash, I'm assuming.
It's about like a missing plane. Like I believe the whole premise is the plane goes missing for a while and then eventually.
You mean the plane is lost? You mean the plane is lost?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No.
The plane is lost?
No. It has an empty manifest. And it appears, I believe how it works is it appears and the people on the plane didn't realize they went missing. I think that's the premise, but they've been gone for like 5 years or some shit like that. And so,
so they got blipped.
Yeah. So, some shit like that. I don't know, but basically the show lasted for 3 seasons, on NBC. That's an important note. And then here, let me read the plot. So make sure I got it right. I've never watched it, but it's highly popular right now. While traveling from Jamaica to New York City, Montego Air Flight 828 experiences a brief period of severe turbulence. When they land at Stewart International Airport in New York, the plane's 191 passengers and crew learn from an NSA deputy director, Robert Vance, that over 5.5 years has passed while they were in the air. During which time they were presumed dead. As they rejoin society, the passengers began to face the fact that their lives and loved ones are not the same as they were, while they also begin to experience guiding voices and visions representing events yet to occur, referred to as callings. So yeah, I was largely right there. So I'm trying to not confuse it with Lost. But yeah, it got 3 seasons and then NBC canceled it. And then Netflix picked it up just to run those first 3 seasons, for whatever reason. And it became incredibly popular. There was a hashtag Save Manifest for a while, and the show did really, really, really well on Netflix. And so then, after it was doing really well, NBC's like, maybe we should bring it back. And Netflix is like, nah, we want it. And they outbid them basically for the rights from like WB, I guess, from the parent company. And WB's like, no, we'll just give it to Netflix. Who gives a fuck? And so Netflix bought it and are bringing back like the principal characters and doing a 4th and final season to tie up any loose ends.
Well, there you go.
That's pretty cool. Like that's a pretty cool thing for Manifest fans. That's kind of dope.
Yeah.
Somebody will have to let me know. Is that a show worth getting into for people who have watched it?
Apparently it is, right? Because
no, that's not That's not apparent to me. Like, people watch a lot of bullshit, like, and that's okay. Like, it doesn't mean I'm gonna like it.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the other big Netflix, big show that got canceled. Do you think there's any hope for Hannibal? Your favorite show?
I don't want to talk about Hannibal. I don't want to talk about it because I don't believe a third season happened because I refuse to watch it. Like, if I watch it, then I know that it's truly over. No, I don't think, was it Brian Fuller? I don't think he's going to do another season because he gets bored. That's his biggest problem. He's a really, really creative guy and he does really great television and then he gets bored. That's why American Gods, he left that. He left Hannibal. No, I don't think so. And I wouldn't want anyone else to do it but him, frankly. But like, maybe, I don't know. I mean, Hannibal's on Netflix now. I don't hear anybody doing #Save Hannibal. So, I doubt it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. It's a bummer. Now, I mean, look, this isn't the first time Netflix has done this. They saved Lucifer too. Lucifer.
Oh, I didn't know Lucifer had new episodes. My dad loves Lucifer.
Yeah, a lot of people really like it. I watched one episode. I thought it was pretty good. Like, not pretty good. I thought it was fine. But I do hear it actually worked really well. It's very different than the comic that it's based on. Like super different. One, Lucifer is not a blonde because like the whole point is that he kind of looks like David Bowie. But it's pretty different in some significant ways. But that show I think got like 4 seasons on Fox and then 4 or 5 seasons. And then Netflix gave it like another 2 or 3 seasons. Like they picked it up and brought everyone back. And they did it like relatively fast. So there wasn't a lot of time between it getting canceled on Fox and getting picked up. Like, I guess Netflix was like, no, this is a top rated show. By the way, this is a super smart move for them. Find things that have a massive fan base that cause it happens every season. You know, something that has a massive fan base and then gets killed after like 3 seasons and everybody is really super sad about it. Well, if you put it on Netflix, you know, all those people are going to rush to it and then like give it another season.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a super smart move. I mean, that could be a part of their like pretty decent business model. So I don't know how much it costs to actually buy a show though. Like, I mean, it ain't free. So,
I mean, it's not free, but at the same time, right? Like they don't want it, right? Like whoever canceled it doesn't necessarily want it. So,
right. I mean, it's a little weird that because NBC/Peacock was looking to pick up Manifest, and it's like, but NBC owned it. Like it was their show. What the fuck? They're like, hey, maybe we should pick this up now that everyone's watching on Netflix. Like, yeah, dude, that's why people said don't cancel it because they liked it. Like, what the fuck? You have all of the data of who watched it. Like, it's really weird. But you know, sometimes shows get second lives on streaming where people can sit and then binge it, and then they go, hey, this turns out to be a pretty good show.
Yeah,
like Manifest was not on my radar at all when it was on NBC, but now that it's on Netflix, yeah, maybe it does pique my interest a little bit. Like that makes sense.
Yeah. Next up, Halloween Kills, the new Halloween movie, is going to premiere day and date in theaters and on the Cock. That's what we call Peacock, the streaming service. It's, you know, you got to shorten it to the Cock.
The Cock, yes, that's very popular.
Yeah,
with
can't wait to look at the Cock. And on October 15th, Jamie Lee Curtis will once again play Laurie Strode, while Nick Castle returns as boring ass Michael Myers. It's going to be the follow up to the 2018 film, which earned $255 million in theaters.
It's not bad.
Look, they also released Boss Baby Family Business.
Yeah, you loved the first Boss Baby movie. You saw it in theaters.
I saw the first Boss Baby movie in theaters with my wife before we had a baby. I think it's because she was like getting to that point where she was like, I want to have a baby.
Is this how she was telling you? She could have just told you and not make you go watch a Kelsey Grammer Boss Baby movie.
No, not Kelsey Grammer. No, that was the Baldwin guy, Alec Baldwin.
Oh, Alec Baldwin. I'm sorry. I wasn't up on my character actors in Boss Baby. I apologize.
Yeah, we missed the sequel though. Darn. And we had Peacock too. We had the cock, but we missed it. Look, you gotta get back on the cock, man. Man. Yeah.
You have to.
Got to keep riding this thing before we get charged again every month for enjoying the cock.
Wow, that's illegal in that's illegal in most states. But
you can see, you know why I got the cock, right? Because I wanted to see professional wrestling, the WWE Network. You know, the sport with a bunch of sweaty men in their underwear.
Right.
I wanted to watch that on the cock.
On the cock. John Cena in his jorts on the cock.
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna watch this. I don't mind a horror movie, particularly a slasher movie. I like slasher movies. I don't like ghost shit. But that's not what this is. This is a slasher movie. But I've never gotten into the Michael Myers character, so I've never really. I think the best thing about Halloween is the theme.
Oh, that's a classic theme.
It's a great theme. It's a great theme, but I think that is the only thing that really does it for me. I don't really care for Michael Myers as a character. He's not funny like Freddy. He doesn't have a cool look like Jason.
You don't think the Captain Kirk mask is the Bill Shatner mask?
I don't think Bill Shatner is scary at all.
I think he's incredibly terrifying, but that's just
me. Yeah. No. If I'm trying to make a Mike Slocum joke, but I can't. It's there somewhere. You know, him being the spokesperson and all. But no, I just never found that character to be interesting. He's not an alien, right? Like the Predator or the Xenomorph. Like he's not same thing with Pinhead. But at least Pinhead like has some gravitas to him, right? Like,
yeah, I'm not gonna watch any of those fucking movies. I'm not like here open Pandora's box or whatever. Get the fuck out of here. No, I don't like any of that. Like the 7 layers of hell. Nah, fuck that. I don't even believe in that. But no. Like the back of my child brain has been conditioned that like religious horror based shit is fucking terrifying to me. No. I'm never gonna. What is that?
Hellraiser.
Hell no. Watch one of these Hellraiser movies. Get fucked. No. And that's a great look, by the way. As a villain, Pinhead is a great. That's a great look.
It's one of those iconic looks, man. But like what's his name? Don't do nothing for me, yo. Like, so I never really got into Halloween.
So I've seen a number of Halloween movies, not all of them. I've seen a few, maybe like 4 of them, like just kind of sprinkled around. I told a story on this show before, but for any new listeners, I saw Halloween H2O. I've seen it twice.
Is that the Busta Rhymes?
I believe so.
Yo, come on. Yo.
Hey, yo, Michael Myers. That's a real thing in that movie. I saw Halloween H2O twice because I was at that point I was out multi-dating, and I went on a date with one girl who I liked just fine. She was a very attractive young lady. I went and saw the movie with her, figured out where all the jump scares were, and then went and saw the same movie with the girl I liked more, with a diva who you know, or you knew, and then I pretended like I wasn't scared of anything with her because she was the one I liked more. And so I seemed tougher. Meanwhile, I was like, oh shit, here it comes. Oh no. Here it comes.
My apologies. Halloween H2O stars a different rapper. Ladies Love Cool J.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, no. Yeah, because isn't Josh Hartnett in H2O?
In H2O, Jamie Lee Curtis, Adam Arkin, Michelle Williams. Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, okay.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in it. No, Busta Rhymes was in the sequel, Halloween Resurrection.
Okay. But that's the one where he's like, hey, yo, Michael Myers.
Hey, yo.
I was like, don't wear a mask. Like,
no, I ain't scared of you. Rah, like a dungeon dragon. I ain't scared of you. Like, all right,
Buster, we got it.
just chill out.
You gotta relax. But yeah, so I did hear that the 2018 movie Halloween was very good. Actually, it got a lot of really positive press. And it's on Hulu, and I keep meaning to watch it. I don't have a lot of time until October 11th. When my new nanny starts.
Slave comes in.
It's a nanny. It's not a slave. It's not an au pair. So I don't have time to really watch these things. And like,
what? Is she white? Is your au pair white?
Yes.
Okay, so when your white mammy, your whammy comes over to take care of your daughter, then you.
I told you, man. Look. If I could only hire white people to do things like clean my house and stuff like
tasks.
Yeah, no, I would. I would only hire white people. And like this person is not, but I would only hire racist white people. That's what I like to clean my house. If I knew that the person was a white racist, I would hire them because every day they came, I would remind them that they're cleaning a black man's floors. Do it. That's what I would do. Oh, you missed a spot, Jethro.
You don't like brown people? What, like brown, like the shit that you have to clean around my toilet?
That's bowl? Right. I ain't even gonna clean it up. I ain't even giving a double flush. You get in there, get to work. No, that's what I would do. But all the people I hire are all very nice. Anyway, so Halloween Kills. Yeah, look, debuting day and date. That's very cool. If you got the cock, you can get it day and date. That's great.
Yeah. Look, there's nothing wrong with the cock, especially if you like big, sweaty men rolling around in their underwear.
Yeah,
you should get it.
How much is the cock?
It's only $10 a month. Well, $5 a month. You can get it for $10 if you don't want to be interrupted. No one likes to be interrupted while they're on the cock. So
no,
I would spring for the $10 option.
Okay, that's right.
And but yeah, you can get it for $5. $5 a month.
$5.
Cock is real. The cock is real cheap.
Yeah, $10 a month, uninterrupted cock, unlimited. Some would say unlimited, uninterrupted cock.
All the cock you want for $10 a month.
That's a show title. That's a show title. Oh, good Lord. Next up, AMC Theaters waste $25 million. AMC is spending $25 million on an ad campaign to get you back in the theater. Here's an idea. It's a pandemic. People are not choosing to go to the theater because of another reason. There's nothing that you are doing. It's a pandemic. Like, you are wasting $25 million. You could just make a commercial with a person on it that says, "Hi, I'm the CEO of AMC Theaters. If you want to come to our theater, you have to have a vaccination card." Boom. I just saved you $25 million. That's it. Just demanded everyone be vaccinated.
I mean, you don't want that smoke from people, right? Like, that's... unfortunately, we live in a time where this national health crisis is politicized, and they're not trying to, liberal Hollywood is trying to, preventing us from living our lives the way we want. Like, nah, it's not like that at all. But I agree with you, right? Like, show your vaccination status, right? Like, I just had to upload my vaccination status to my job so that they will let me come in. Because they're like, look, we can't keep you from working at home. Like, you got to come in. And
I'd be like, no, I'm not sending it. I'm on working from home. No, you can't make me.
Okay. Yeah, no, you ain't getting paid.
Yeah. Look, what was it? United Airlines today was like, nah, if you took a religious exemption from the COVID vaccine, no problem. You're on unpaid leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like, you're not fired. You just ain't getting paid. However you want to figure that out is on you. Yo, that's a bold move. I love it.
That's the move right there.
That's
the move. That's the perfect move right there. You know, well, how am I supposed to make a living? Give it up to God and let him take care of it.
Yeah. Go work somewhere else.
So,
teach a man to fish through the eye of a needle with a camel or whatever. I don't know. I'm not religious. You figure it out. Who gives a shit? Who cares? Like, who cares, man? That's on you. That's on you.
But yeah, man, like,
pray it away.
I really wish that that some companies would really just kind of put their foot down and just say, hey, you know, we want you here and we want you here to be safe, but like, you just show us your vaccination card. I mean, they're not going to do it. And I, on the one hand, I understand, like my brain understands why they won't do it.
I mean, you're right. It would alienate a lot of people. It would.
Yeah. And they don't want to do that. And they don't want that bad publicity either.
Sure. I understand.
But at the same time, like, I don't know, man. I feel like more people would go to the movies if they knew that, like, me and my wife would go to the movie. Me and my wife would go to the movies, especially now when we're working from home. We would go to the movies way more often. Now that we have our son in daycare, and we would go to the movies every week like we used to.
I mean, here's the thing. I understand that you are going to lose a lot of money and you're gonna get mad pushback from conservatives. Let's get real. From conservatives, if you do this. At the same time, you're AMC, baby. You're the biggest movie theater chain in the country.
Right.
Fuck them. Guess what? It ain't gonna be no big deal because eventually it's gonna be everywhere. All these people, like, and it's not forever, right? When they throw the hammer down, look, I tell you right now, like all this, like waiting and all, will they, won't they type of shit. Pfizer has already been, it has been fully government approved. When Moderna and Johnson & Johnson are, that's it, man. Those mandates are rolling and they are rolling super heavy everywhere. So guess what? All that talking that bullshit, it ain't going to matter because their jobs are going to require it. And they're not going to sit on their duffs and not work. They're not. Not the how dare you just sit on your butt and get government assistance. Not those people. They're not going to sit at home. I don't care how much they protest on Twitter or Telegram or wherever. They're not going to do that. They're going to keep it quiet. They're going to get that vaccination. They're going to keep that job. They're not going to lose their federal job. They're not going to use their federal contractor job. They're going to lose their good union job or whatever. They're not going to do that shit. No way. That's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Anytime you can convince grandparents to get a vaccination because you tell them you can't see their grandkids, you think people are going to give up their jobs to eat?
Yeah.
No, man. No way. It's all horseshit. So to me, the best move is to be like, you know what? Rip the Band-Aid off. You mad about it? They'd be mad about it for about 2 weeks. And then guess what? Those numbers will start rising with the amount of people seeing your movies. They will.
Yeah.
Look, do it now. Do it now before the next big Marvel movie comes out. You got all these other big heavy hitters coming out. Yeah. Because guess what? If you do it, if AMC does it, Regal will do it.
Yeah,
and then the other, they'll all do it.
All you need is one to do it. And if the biggest one does it, then the other, and they don't fucking fail, right? Because they're not, right? Like, what are you gonna do? Well, we'll just create our own theater chain. Like, no, this ain't Parlor or whatever. Like,
that's not an option for you.
Right. It's not.
Well, we'll just stay home. Y'all already staying home. What are they losing? They're not losing anything. They're already losing tons of money. Remember, we've been talking about AMC failing for the last year because nobody was going. Pull the Band-Aid off and be like, look, you need to have a vaccination card. It is what it is. You have your vaccination card. There are no exemptions or anything. Once the country gets to like 75% vaccinated, 80% vaccinated, then everything can open up because there's this that's as close as you're ever going to get, right? Like, it is.
What do you think about the idea of not forcing mandates on, a vaccination card? You got to show your vaccination card to get, to get in this theater, right? Because that's kind of difficult to do when you have, online purchases and stuff like that. Like, you're not going to show your vaccine. You're not going to upload your vaccination card to amc.com or whatever, right? So, but if you already bought a ticket and then you come to the theater and you don't have it, like, they're not going to turn you away, right? It's a little impractical to say, show us your vaccination card. What if instead they offer incentives if you do have your vaccination card?
Like what?
Right? Like, I don't know. Free food, I guess, is the easiest thing. But like, ain't
gonna be no free food. That's where they make their real money.
That's where they make their money, right? And I'm not a fan of their movie theater food. But like, hey, if you can show proof of vaccination when you get to the box office, we'll give you a voucher for a free movie ticket.
Wow, that's not a bad deal. That's
like just to get your ass in there, right? Like to get you in there, to get you more comfortable. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
but
that's how you get people in,
right? But the problem is you're still at the same problem, which is you're still sitting across from people that are unvaccinated.
I mean, I know, but like they don't give a shit, right?
No,
they honestly don't.
No, they don't. But that them not caring isn't the problem. Is that people really care, right? Like, so I know. I think the move is. I think you're right. How do you handle the vaccinations when you're doing online purchasing? That's a tough question. I honestly don't know. I would say that you can buy the ticket. And then you just have a stipulation that if you get to the theater and you don't have your vaccination card, you just get refunded. Oops. Like it's like a tentative like a tentative purchase. Like, sorry.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you got to trust employees to
trust
employees to enforce it. You got to trust the movie theater managers to force their employees to enforce it. Like,
right.
I understand where you're coming from, and I agree.
That's a lot, but that's a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah,
that's why. That's part of the reason why they want to do it.
You're asking a whole lot of honesty from people who work,
minimum
wage jobs.
Right, and that's probably not the best way to rephrase that. You're asking for them to do a lot more work.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. That's what I mean. Not that people who work minimum wage jobs
they're dishonest.
Care, right? Or this. No, but it's. You can't put the burden on the burden shouldn't be on the nuts and bolts of the company. It should be on the fucking system itself.
Right.
And it should be on the fucking individual.
Yeah, who's not vaccinated.
Vaccinated, yo.
Come on, man. Like, one thing that would have actually been really quite impressive, but the United States is run very oddly, is when you got vaccinated, it went into a national database. Right? That national database could be read by certain companies to verify your status immediately, right? Like, you go to put in, like, hey, here's my information. Somehow it's tied to you. I don't really know. But however you would figure it out, and you go to pay, and it's like, what's your vaccination ID or something like that, or some level of status or some connection, and they run it through their system like, yes, you've been verified as being vaccinated. Like, if you don't have that number or whatever code or scan or whatever that they have on your license, let's say, if they don't have that, then it doesn't work. Tough shit.
Yeah.
But we didn't do that. Like, because we let 50 different states do it, and they all have their own ways of tracking, which didn't seem like really kind of tracking, to be honest. I'm not sure they did much tracking for Maryland. Like, I really don't think so. And then people were buying fake cards and all this other shit. So and those people are few and far between.
Could you imagine buying a fake vaccination card when you can get a free vaccine?
Well, they don't want, that's their way. That's their way of like, I'll spend $200 because fuck the system. I'm like, nah, the system just fucked you. You're the idiot.
Like,
you're the idiot.
Not even the system didn't even fuck you. somebody outside the system fucked you.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
won't take part in it.
No, it's free. It's free. It's free.
It's free, yo. It's free.
It's free. So I don't know. But I wouldn't have spent $25 million trying to get people back into theaters. The problem is the pandemic. Like, and that also speaks to another thing, like seeing some clown making all these YouTube videos about how Shang-Chi failed at the box office. It's a pandemic. It's not because of the quality of the film. Stop making that video, you idiot. Like, what are you proving?
Second of all, it's the highest grossing film since the pandemic started.
Right.
It set Labor Day box office records.
Right. Not for the pandemic. For Labor Day, period.
Right. For Labor Day, dude. Like, all right, yo. All right.
Like what argument are you making? Hey, there's a pandemic, so people aren't going to see the movie. That means it's a failure. But it's not a failure. Like, you can't. Thing that drives me crazy. Stop taking context out of a statement, like, and just saying it. It's dumb. Like, come on. This is
like, was the movie supposed to make $1 billion on Thursday for you to be like, oh, okay, well, then it's okay? Like,
yeah, you're just making YouTube videos for clickbait. Like, you're a pathetic asshole.
Yo, it set box office records, yo.
In regular times. For regular times. Like,
all right.
Yeah, right. If it wasn't a pandemic, it would have made $1 billion. Let's get real. It would have. It would have. Like, it would have. Like, and it's unfortunate. It's all right. We'll get them next time. Ain't no big deal.
Oh man,
nonsense. Speaking of mandates, Joseph Robinette Biden, our current president, urges entertainment venues, movie theaters, to require patrons to be vaccinated or show proof of a negative test. Today, in a speech outlining steps the administration is taking to end the COVID-19 pandemic, President Joe Biden urged entertainment venues to adopt these new requirements. Quote, to those of you running large entertainment venues for sports sports arenas, to concert venues, to movie theaters, please require folks to get vaccinated or show a negative test as a condition of entry. Biden said in his speech from the White House. This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about protecting yourselves and those around you. Look, I mean, he's 100% right. Like, I am not a fan of the, like, well, as long as you have a negative test, because those rapid tests can be absolutely incorrect. They have a problem. But at least that's something. I think people would be a lot more apt to go to theaters if you said you had to show a vaccination card or you had to show you had a negative test. Like, yo, the rapid test you can get done in 30 minutes. Like, results back in 30 minutes. Go get your test and then go see your Marvel movie, man. Like, it's not that fucking hard. But
yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what the I just feel like I'm just talking at nothing. You know what I mean? Like
this is a thing that we can solve. Like, right, we can solve it really easily.
Like, that's the frustrating thing, is that this is not something that's like, this isn't going to cost you, you know, it would cost you gas to get there or bus fare to get there.
No, yo, in Baltimore, they'll come to your house.
But like, it's something that is easily solvable. It's easily solvable.
It is.
And the fact that people are making it difficult is when you really don't have to.
That's maddening to me.
Is frustrating. Yeah, it's real frustrating. But it's part of living in society, man. I guess.
Not the good part. So
nope.
Yeah. All right. All right. What the fuck brought to you by JTD?
Somehow, a man swallows an entire cell phone and needs doctors to remove it.
Is it a Nokia? Is it one of the Nokia ones?
It is a Nokia. It is an imitation Nokia 3310 phone.
Oh,
you know, one of them little bricks.
Yeah. I bet it still worked when I pulled it out of his ass. I bet it booted it right up.
Doctors in this place had to help the unidentified 33-year-old man after the phone had become lodged in his stomach. It was too large for him to digest and put his life in danger, as corrosive battery acid could have leaked out. Wow, there it is, right in the X-ray. The phone, after it was safely removed, I mean, it looks like it could work.
This is Japan, right?
No, this is you'll never guess what this is. This is Kosovo.
Kosovo. All right. All right. You guys over there are wiling.
It was pulled out during an endoscopy. They have pictures. Doctors from Kosovo removed the Nokia 3310 after it had been lodged in the man's stomach for 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 days. The person who led the medical team, whose name I'm not going to try and pronounce, shared photos on Facebook of the cell phone after it was removed, as well as the X-ray and endoscope images while it was still inside. He managed to remove the foreign object without cutting into the stomach by taking it out in 3 pieces. There were no complications, he said. The phone is believed to be an L8 Star BM90, a model that is designed to look like a Nokia 3310, but it's smaller. The man took himself to the hospital because he was in pain. I do not see why he swallowed.
Thank you. This is my question. Really, why would you do that?
That's really the only reason I'm looking. I kept reading.
Look, and I've said this on this show before, and I feel bad every time I say it. But I also don't feel like I'm wrong. There's a lot of parts of this world where people got nothing else to do. That's why movies will do really well, like bad movies, because people are like, yo, I don't know, my life is miserable. I'll just see that movie. I don't give a shit. And you're like, why did that like terrible Warcraft movie do really well in Kosovo? Because the only other option is to eat a phone. It's the only other option. What else are they doing over there? It's like I'll just shove this down my gullet. I don't understand. Like why would you do that?
Yeah, man. I just it doesn't say in the article why this person just kind of downed his phone.
So I guess my question is, Michael, would you eat a phone?
I mean, if it's like, if I was on that Japanese game show where they're like, is it candy or is it real? Like they have objects that look real. And the point is like, you bet to see like if it's an actual door handle or if it's like cake that just looks.
Do they have you bite it? Please tell me they have.
Yeah, they have you bite it.
I need to see clips of that because I'm sure there's a couple of times that are pretty fucking embarrassing. Now, this phone, I looked this phone up.
And look, if I'm going to eat a phone, remember what they told you when you were, a baby. Chew 32 times before swallowing. Like, come on, man. Like, which phone are you choosing to eat? You going mini Nokia, the L Star, the L8 Star BM90, the L8 Star Bowel Movement 90. Is that the one you're going with, or are you going with like a flip phone, like a StarTAC, right? No, I'm going with the N-Gage because it likes
the N-Gage. That thing was humongous.
Yeah, but it's the taco phone, right? Like, wasn't that the taco phone?
No, the N-Gage was huge. It was like wide. It was like a Neo Geo Pocket.
Let me Google taco phone. No, that's the N-Gage. Look, Google taco phone and see what comes up.
Taco phone? I thought the N-Gage was
taco phone.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I thought that thing was big. That's one of the worst designed phones of all time, by the way.
It really
it was awful. I had a Sidekick that was like wide, but you like flip up the screen. That one was kind of badass. Like I wish that phone was still around. Like that phone was cool. That was one of the all time great phone designs.
Yeah, it looked like a Game Boy.
Yeah, it was fucking slick, man. That was a slick ass phone. Like I used to think I was so cool when I had it. Turns out I wasn't, but I felt like I was cool. And that was cool. That's what made me cool to me. And only me. So yeah, no, don't eat your phone. By the way, that little phone, the L-Star Bowel Movement 90, it is in fact very small. Like it's the size of like this one picture has someone holding it in his hand, and it's like the size of like 3 quarters stacked on top of each other.
Oh yeah, it is small. Wow.
So,
wow.
I mean, it wasn't like eating an actual Nokia, which is like a fucking brick. But yeah, it's tiny. Like this guy's holding it. It's not even as long as his middle finger. So
yeah, it's a baby phone for babies.
Yeah, that you can eat.
It's 2.5 inches. Wow.
Oh. Wow. People literally have an earpiece on it, so you can just have the whole phone on the side of your ear, on the side of your head.
That sounds stupid.
It is. It does sound stupid, and it looks even dumber. If you can fucking Google the name of the phone, there's morons doing that. So yeah, I guess he got tired and was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to eat this phone.
Like, I need something to eat. God damn.
I guess I'll eat the BM90. All right. My story is very weird. This is about Eskimo, the insect caviar of this country. Eskimo is an ancient dish made from edible larvae and pupae of 2 species of ants, known for its nutty, buttery flavor. Commonly known as this place caviar, because of its similarity to fish eggs, Eskimo consists of larvae and pupae of ants belonging to the words I'm not going to try to pronounce, 2 species that some semi-arid areas. Yeah, I would try it. This is semi-arid.
Semi-arid. I have no idea, because at first I was like, all right, maybe like Southeast Asia somewhere, but I have no clue. Cambodia. I have no idea.
Much closer than you think. Mexico.
Oh, all right. Semi-arid. That makes sense.
Yep.
Wow. Let me see what this thing looks like.
It's not bad.
Oh, it's not gross looking.
No.
Like it looks like a risotto.
Yeah. I try it. Why not? I've eaten grasshoppers, so like whatever.
I mean, if I didn't know what it was, I would try it.
Yeah. Look, there's that one part of Mexico that's like it's got like O's and X's in the name. I can't remember how it's pronounced.
What's a coddle? Is that it?
I think so.
No, Quetzalcoatl is like a Mexican bird.
No, it's like Oxatal, or I don't remember. Like I'm sure right now Andy and Leonardo are screaming Spanish epithets at me. But like they're all about bugs. Like that's because there's a place in DC which I think has the same name, and they have grasshopper tacos. That's what I've had there. They're delicious.
Grasshopper tacos. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I don't need to eat a bug.
Yeah,
unless it's from Red Lobster.
Yeah, that's a sea bug, yo. That's a sea bug.
It's a water bug.
It's not better. Like, I don't know why we pretend like it is. Ew, yo, you eating grasshoppers? Yo, crack that crab open and eat the mustard. Like, nah, yo, we're psychopaths.
Let me eat this foot-long cockroach.
Yeah, like, no, but bugs are bothering you. Really? Okay. Why? Because you poured Budweiser over it and steamed it alive? You fucking menace? Then it's fine for you? Get out of here. But yeah, no, I try it. That's fine. Here's another weird story that was just like, connected to the story I was reading. Chinese woman claims that she hasn't slept in 40 years. Okay. That's I think maybe you're so delusional from the lack of sleep, you don't realize you're falling asleep. A resident of this one village in the Henan province, her name is Lee, is somewhat of a local celebrity in her community because she is alleged the ability to stay up all through the day and night without so much as a 30 not without as much as 30 minutes of sleep. A few years back, some of the neighbors tried putting her claims to the test by playing cards against her under the streetlights at night, but they eventually either went home or fell asleep right then and there, and she remained awake. Well, if everyone's asleep, how do you know she's not asleep?
Yeah, like she's just outlasting you. She's just doing what my son does, right? Like, I'm awake. No, I'm not sleeping. I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to go to bed. Like, all right. Like, you're tired, yo. You're tired. Just go to sleep.
Yeah, why are you fighting it? Your kids are psychopaths.
You're not missing anything. Like I read that that's why kids don't like to go to bed, because they have FOMO.
Yeah, they do.
Yo, you're not missing anything. Me and mommy are watching fucking TV. You ain't like, get out of here.
I'm trying to make you a sister. Relax.
Right. Like,
go to bed.
Trying to give you somebody to play with.
Yeah, and that's my daughter suffers from a tremendous amount of FOMO. Like, I'm gonna miss something. You're fucking not. Your mom is on her laptop working. Your dad is on his laptop working. Wow. And because we can't do it while you're awake. That's it. So yeah, it's I don't believe this woman. Because after like 3 days without sleep, you begin to hallucinate and go crazy. So no, I'm not buying it. But look, maybe she's an anomaly.
Yeah. And if that's the case, what are you doing with your life? With all of that extra time being awake?
Nothing.
You gotta be doing something.
Oh, here you go. Doctors say Lee was actually deceived by her own brain. When she's resting, part of her body had already entered dormancy, but didn't have to close her eyes to do so. For example, when talking to her husband, Lee sometimes had slow eyeballs. Ugh, I don't know what that means. That's fucking terrifying. Slow eyeballs and hollow eyes, which indicates that she's resting during these movements. Moments.
Yeah, I used to sleep with my eyes open.
Oh, dude, that's fucking horrifying.
My mother tells the story of a guy who came over. His name was Mike White. He came over. He was my mom's big gay friend, right? He was her big gay Al. And this was before I knew what gay people were, right? I was like, oh, it's Mr. Mike White. And he came in. I was in my room laying down like this. And apparently he was talking to me. He was trying to have a conversation. And then he goes back to my mother and says, hey, what's up with Micah? Why isn't he talking to me? And she looks, she's like, oh, he's just sleeping. I was like, what? Yeah, he just sleeps with his eyes open sometimes.
See? Nah, yo, Micah, look, you don't have to lie. You are a massive homophobe then. And you just refuse to talk to this man. And now I used to sleep with my eyes open. That was your story. Right. Got it. Sure. We've all grown up since then. It's fine. Just admit it. I look, we've all grown up, and now I pay $10 a month for unlimited cock. Right, exactly. Regular cock of the month club. Yeah, that's wild. I remember going on a school trip and there was a kid who fell asleep with his eyes open. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? That's like super weird. It's really, really strange. And I'm glad I don't do that. Or am married to someone who does that, because that would creep me the fuck out. I would put a blanket over her head. I'd be like, nah, I can't look at you. Like, that shit would creep me out. So yeah, there you go. This woman's full of shit, as I knew that she was. So yeah, your brain will do that to you. It will trick you. You have to rest. All right. I just realized we have trailers. It's very late. All right. Just quickly, Don't Look Up. This looks like pretty funny. It's done by Adam McKay, starring Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio, about two scientists who know there's a meteor coming and no one believes them. Yeah.
Look, seems very funny. I like Adam McKay. Yep. I like all the movies that I've seen him direct.
Except for Vice. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I know you didn't particularly care for Vice. I think you're a little too close to the subject matter, you being a huge Dick Cheney fan.
Yes, I have his book. I do have his book, The Angler.
But look, I like most of the people in here, and I'm looking forward to this, especially since it is going to be available on Netflix.
Yep.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
By the way, this looks like a fake movie according to Patty Jenkins. So yeah, whatever. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Oscar award winners.
Movie, Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence, 2 Oscar award winners, are in fake movies, guys.
Yeah, fake movies. Yeah, sure. And Adam McKay making some of the more profound, interesting films in the last couple of years. Yeah, a fake director. Fuck off. Injustice. This is the, I guess, official trailer for the Injustice animated film. Sure. Look, I was already in. Yeah, I didn't really need to see a trailer.
The premise is an excellent premise taken from the games, and then look, the premise is so good for this video game, they made a comic book series about it.
Yep,
that had like that was available for multiple years, right?
Like, yeah, well after the game had done this thing.
Yeah. The premise is basically the Joker kills Lois Lane and a pregnant Lois Lane and destroys Metropolis, and Superman snaps, kills the Joker, and is like, all right, you know what? Fuck this. Like, there needs to be some law and fucking order around here.
Yep.
And you get a totalitarian Superman or an authoritarian Superman. I love this idea. I love the premise. My issue is the art style. I do not like those hard shadows and those very, very angular features.
This is more like the Mortal Kombat style.
Yep, and I'm not a huge fan of that either. Yep. It's fine, it's serviceable, but especially coming off of the art style from the previous 3 movies, that the Superman movie, the Justice Society movie, and the Long Halloween films, to see this, it just I'm not a huge fan of the hard shadows.
I'm wondering, did they do this so that they could differentiate this from that part of the universe?
This is absolutely why they did it.
Yeah.
And I get it, right? Like, but because this is like an Elseworlds tale or whatever.
Right.
But I just wish they picked a different style. It doesn't have to be, that the style of those previous 3 movies, but I just wish it was a different style. That's all.
It's incredibly angular, and yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this style either. But I'm actually looking forward to. I'm looking forward to this. When does this come out?
October 19th. Look, I'm saying all this shit. I'm gonna still get it. I'm gonna still watch it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because the premise is that good, man. Like I'm going to watch this, and let's see what they do, because like villains become, like, Batman is a leader of a resistance, and some good guys turn bad. Some, like Green Lantern gets corrupted by fear, so he becomes a Yellow Lantern, and Superman lobotomizes Billy Batson. And I think Harley Quinn joins the resistance. Like, it's a cool little mashup, man. It's a cool little Elseworlds tale. So I'm curious to see how it plays out, and if it'll play out over multiple movies, because there is no, like, at least according to the game, I didn't read the comic, but according to the game, there really wasn't a resolution to that, right? Like, Superman doesn't become a good guy in Injustice 2. They just have Brainiac to fight, and he is a force so devastating that Batman and Superman have to team up to fight Brainiac. But once they do, I still don't fucking, my wife and child are still dead. Like, this is a little detour, bro. Like, we still on this fascism kick.
Yeah, no, I still like this. I like being in charge.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm curious.
And I'm sure they'll change it up a little bit too. They got to give you something new as a fan. Dexter New Blood. This trailer just came out. This is sort of the full trailer for this revival. That's fine. I'm going to need somebody to tell me this is good.
Part of Dexter's appeal for me was its setting. You don't see Miami used in a lot of like as a setting in like the modern day, right? Like whenever you think of Miami, you think of like Miami Vice, you think of like or shit parodying the 80s, but you don't really see Miami as it is now. You know, keep in mind Miami kind of looks the same, right? Like Miami in the daytime, I don't know if you've ever been to Miami. Miami in the daytime looks like a shithole, but Miami at night looks amazing. And I liked that it was set in Miami. This is set in, you know, whatever bumfuck northern exposure.
I was going to say this is the set, the unused, the abandoned set of northern exposure.
Yeah, whatever town he went to. And while I would like more Dexter, this seems like more Dexter in a different locale. And while that isn't necessarily a bad thing, like the last 4 seasons of Dexter have proven that somebody got to tell me that this is good before I invest too much time into it.
I'm not investing anything. You watch it. You let me know. You have Showtime?
No, I don't. I don't. But
whoever has Showtime, you watch it. Look, I thought the Trinity Killer episode or season was the best one. If it's as good, amazing. Yeah, it is easily the best. If it is as good as season 4 or as season 1 or 2, I will watch it. If it is not, don't tell me about it. Like, by the way, Michael C. Hall was my, is it Michael C. Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was my choice for Daredevil for a long time.
Yeah, he would have been a very good Daredevil.
Yeah. If it was at the time of like when that show was at a time.
Yeah, he would have been a very good Daredevil.
Yeah, I think he could have pulled it off. Like, cause he was like a badass, like he was like a physical guy too. Yeah, it could have been very cool. So yeah, someone will have to tell me it's great. This looks really interesting. Look, the Jake Gyllenhaal Renaissance continues. Another fake movie on Netflix, starring another fantastic actor. Jake Gyllenhaal in a movie called The Guilty, where he plays a 911 phone operator. I'll read the log line here. The Guilty takes place over the course of a single morning in a 911 dispatch call center. Call operator Joe Baylor, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, tries to save a caller in grave danger, but he soon discovers that nothing is as it seems, and facing the truth is the only way out. What it seems like in the premise or in the trailer is someone calls 911 and they've been abducted, and they're like trying to give him clues, and he's trying to like get clues out of them where they are so he can track the car and get the police to them. But the call gets disconnected. And like, it's kind of like a race against time. I think this looks really great. Go ahead.
Did you think it looked great when it was called The Call, starring Halle Berry?
I had forgotten about that movie.
I didn't.
No, yo, I'm not putting this movie in the same. I'm not putting this movie in the same.
Because you hate black women. Look,
no, that's not it. Don't do that. Don't do that.
This is directed by Antoine Fuqua, and I forget who's running it. It's like the guy that wrote like the first season of True Detective or something like that.
Yeah, it is. By the way,
this screams pandemic movie. Right. This is a pandemic movie.
Yeah,
right?
It's a bottle film. Absolutely.
But it looks very interesting. And I think Jake Gyllenhaal is a really, really good actor. I'm looking forward to this. I will watch this. This can't be more than 89 minutes.
No, not at all.
This cannot be more than 89 minutes.
No,
I do not expect this movie to be more than 89 minutes and 59 seconds. If it's 90 minutes, that's pushing it for me.
Speaking of that, it turns out Venom, Let There Be Carnage, exactly 90 minutes.
Wow. I mean, look, maybe they ain't got a lot to say.
Hey, guess what? The Guilty, just looked it up. 90 minutes.
What I tell you,
like, yo, it doesn't. The premise can't be that long. You're right. Like, come on now.
God, not Carnage is not in Venom. I am so looking forward to Spider-Man 2 and the video game having a better Venom than this big budget movie.
100%.
I am very much looking forward to it, and I'm very much looking forward to Spider-Man 3 having a better Carnage than this upcoming movie.
Probably. I do like that Tony Todd is doing the voice for Venom. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. That's fucking cool, man.
That's very cool. He's perfect.
It was a real kick in the balls when they showed that trailer, and I'm just like smiling and giddy. And then they said 2023.
Yeah, I was like,
damn.
Well, it's almost 2022 and a few more months.
We got another quarter of 2021.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And then a whole year after that. Fuck.
Man. And then it's not coming out January 1st, 2023.
No, it's probably December. Like, God damn.
So I got another 2 years before that game comes out. But
that's all right.
All good.
You can play your Wolverine game too. Eventually.
Yeah, we're getting a Wolverine game.
Yeah. Look, I just needed to be as good as that Wolverine game that they just slapped Wolverine on. that the one game company was making and the Wolverine movie was coming out.
They made that was actually a really good Wolverine.
I played that game.
Yeah,
I
game
bought
was really good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a good beat 'em up. Like it was fun.
Yeah.
It had some some pretty violent cutscenes where he grabbed the guy, cut the guy's head off on a helicopter.
The game was way more violent than the movie.
Oh yeah, by far. Yeah, by far. All right. Let's talk about we're here. Yes. The Matrix Resurrections. The Matrix Resurrections, not the Matrix Resurrections, but the Matrix Resurrections, straight up. I think this is about as good of a trailer design as it gets. Gives you just enough to get you super interested, and doesn't give away too much. It makes me incredibly interested to see what this is.
Yeah, I agree. I was worried about whether or not, I would be interested in coming back into this world, particularly because I wasn't like a huge fan of the third movie.
No one was.
But I mean, The Matrix was a phenomenon, man. Yep. And I loved it. And this trailer is doing it for me, man. It really is. I like how Keanu Reeves is just like long hair, don't care in every movie role now.
Yeah, no, that's just like, this is my look. Like you got to deal with it.
You work around it. But
you know what he is?
This is me.
He's white Zazie Beetz, right? Zazie Beetz is like, I'm not changing my hair. Like, no, but you're gonna be Domino. Domino got a blowout. Like, figure it out.
I mean, she's also like, I'm not shaving under my arms either.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of that.
I'm not saying women have to, but
it's what I would prefer.
Right.
Not telling women what to do in general. I'm just saying it's not for me. I went out on a date with a girl and I was like, no, it wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. It's okay. It wasn't for me.
But,
looks good.
Yahya Abdul-Mateen, I guess he's playing Morpheus.
He says that he is. Yeah.
So let's
talk about the trailer, and then I would like to talk about speculation because I think that's equally important here.
Okay. Look, I don't know why Lana and her sister are not doing it. It's just Lana.
Yeah.
Like I saw someone ask that question, and I was like, oh yeah, it's a good question. I don't know why they're not doing it as a pair. Maybe just the other Wachowski did not. Maybe she had everything she had to say in those first three films. But look, The Matrix with 2021 technology,
knock it off.
Budget?
Knock it off.
Right.
Yeah, you look. That's the thing, man. You cannot ignore how good this looks.
Yeah, man.
You cannot.
It's a beautifully shot trailer. I'm looking at all these colors, man. I don't know. There's something about this trailer, man. It does it for me. It really does.
It looks clean. It looks very clean.
It does. Like I want to go back and rewatch the other Matrix movies.
That's my plan.
This is coming out in December.
Look. next week, I have to start rewatching these movies. I have to. Like, we don't have that long. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, wait, 2021? Like, it's like earlier we talked about like Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City is November. I'm like, okay. This one, I'm like, okay. Like, all right. Like, hell yeah. I don't have to wait till next Christmas. Fuck. And I can watch it on HBO Max.
Yeah, man. Look. All right.
Yeah. Look,
all right.
I'm watching the shit out of this.
All right. Now, look, this is another iteration of the Matrix, right? Because the Matrix, when the architect was talking,
are we like, okay? We're back in. We're in speculation now.
Yeah.
All right.
So when the architect was giving his spiel, he was telling Neo that there were 5 or 6 other iterations of the Matrix, and all of them failed, and then this one is the one that works.
Right.
This is another iteration of the Matrix, right? Like that's
my speculation.
Yes. Right. And there is another anomaly. Like there's a pattern, there's a cycle that keeps going on and on and on with these matrices. And I guess the machines thought that they figured it out with the 6th iteration, but that was, back in the early 90s or late 90s, early 2000s.
Right.
But they didn't. Maybe the machines think that they figured it out, but no, they haven't, right? Like,
so, yeah, part of me thinks that, like, okay, maybe this is a different Matrix, like the 7th iteration or whatever. But part of me also thinks that the Matrix is layered, right? And it's like we thought that, or we were told that Trinity died, like in the real world, right? So she really died. But maybe that's just another layer of the Matrix, right? Like not so much that it's a full reiteration, but they're just stacked on top of each other. And that what she saw as the real world was just another part of the Matrix, right? And then there's another layer on top of it.
Like a failsafe that the machines put on.
Right. So you think you're doing something.
Right.
Like, okay. So like there's just a resistance in humans that they have to break free. And so why don't we build in this scenario, this goofball scenario where they break free and they fight the machines. And like the Matrix is nothing like what we've seen. All of it is bullshit. And it's something completely different.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a lot more here. I like the idea that yes, Yahya Abdul-Mateen is playing Morpheus, but is he, right? Like, is he playing the Morpheus that we know?
I think he's playing a Morpheus. That's why I'm thinking this is another like iteration of it, because I think it's like, I don't know if you're familiar with like lore of like the Zelda franchise, but like those are different like worlds. There's always a link. There's always
it's like a multiverse kind of thing.
The Ganon, right? And it's just like it's cyclical,
right?
And that's what I think this is. Now this is just a half-baked idea, going from my piss poor memory of what the previous 3 movies were, but yeah, man, look. Super excited. I'm super excited. I'm gonna have to rewatch these 3 movies, and yeah, man, like it's cool. It's gonna be cool to see the Matrix again, like to see if they still have it, to see if this franchise can catch fire like it did.
I think it can, dude. I think it can. Like the thing is, and I was talking to Cam about this in our Discord, like. He was saying for him, and I think this is a totally fair criticism, that for him, the Matrix main 3 movies is kind of like 1 out of 3 for him, right? Like the first one was obviously 6. What's that?
Yeah, like only one of them is good out of the 3,
right? And what I was saying is, I think it's more like that, like it's 2 out of 3 for me. Because I think the second one, while it has some like super serious, like dodgy CGI, I mean, no one would disagree with that. There are some great moments in it. And the action in the second one, while interesting and like, dude, you cannot argue that Ducati motorcycle scene is not fucking awesome. That's not why people went and saw the third one. People went and saw the third one because they were so incredibly invested in seeing what was going to happen, right? Narratively, the second one really worked. Narratively and action-wise, the third one didn't because it was just a mess. But, and there's some theories as to why that is. I mean, I think part of it is like the Wachowskis were just not capable of trying to do back-to-back movies. I think that was a bit too much for them. You know, and this is not to be crass or rude, but, you know, another theory is that it was really tough for them while they were transitioning to concentrate on trying to make movies at the same time. Like,
especially given the subtext of what the Matrix is,
yes.
Right? Like, if you know what the subtext of the Matrix is, this is very personal to them.
Right.
So yeah, I see that.
Yeah. I could see that being a little hard for them to try to do that and make these movies. And again, that's not a criticism of them at all. Like, everybody's got their lives that they're going through, and their lives are more important than us watching a fucking movie. Like, they just are.
Right.
So I do think it's possible that Lana Wachowski is like, look, I do have a lot more to say, and there's a lot more here. I mean, people are already drawing some pretty interesting conclusions, I think. Right now, the little girl who shows up at the end of the third movie, and she was with one of the other characters, a little Indian girl, they think that that's who what's her name is, Priyanka Chopra is in this movie. Like, it's kind of interesting, right? Like, is it a different Matrix? Is this Matrix a mashup, right? Like, okay, he's playing, you know, Yahya Abdul-Mateen is playing Morpheus, right? Maybe that particular person was playing a different character in the ones that we've seen, but now Lawrence Fishburne is the Oracle, right? Like, you don't know because they were just fucking batteries to the robots. What do they care if you shuffle the roles around?
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I saw all these people like, oh, I can't believe he's not playing Morpheus, but maybe he's playing someone else. You don't know. That would be a pretty big cameo to have Lawrence Fishburne show up as a completely different character, right? Like, it would make sense why Neo is he meets Trinity, and he's like, and she says, have we met before? Right? So they have some connection to each other. Like, what that connection is, I don't know. But, like, are they the same as they were, right? He looks in the mirror and it's a different guy, right? His face changes. So, like, maybe as how we see him isn't how he's presented in the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's some pretty interesting shit. And, like, this has always been the franchise's best work, is that sort of ultimate layered storytelling. Like, you know, whether you like the action or the CGI, I think people get overly obsessed with those kind of things. I mean, and they're a big part of it, but the story is why you come back. Like, dude, I remember the amount of like nerd fan theories I read going into seeing the second and third movie. And there were plenty of it. People still are making YouTube videos about the Matrix still to this day because it's that compelling. And it's damn good storywriting or storytelling. It really is. Which makes me want to go back, and I was thinking about watching the second one last night, but I think I want to just start and watch the first one and then just go all the way through.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch them. They're on HBO Max, and I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna try and watch them, you know, because I got enough stuff to watch. I gotta watch the Metal Gear Solid 2 gameplay walkthrough. And that's going to be 4 hours. So I got a lot of stuff to watch. But
yeah, and you got to watch Dexter. Let me know if that's good.
Yeah,
because I ain't watching.
No. Somebody got to buy Showtime for me.
Yeah, okay. All right, Terrence. Y'all want me to watch this shit? You buy
it. But yeah, I'll probably watch one in October, one in November, one in December.
That's as much time as I have. I'll watch one a month.
That's it, man. That's it. I gotta watch one a month.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna cram it all in December. You know what I mean?
No, who's got the time?
Exactly.
No, I'm gonna try to watch one a night, starting next week. It'll probably take me 3 weeks, honestly, to get to have the chance to sit down and watch them. Yeah, there's no way. Like, I'm watching them in a weekend. Nigga, what kind of free time do I have? No.
Right.
Get out of here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But that trailer really kind of brought me back, wanting to see, like, there's a lot of nuanced details that I don't remember. Especially from the third one. Like like all these other sort of like ancillary characters, which I really want to go back and kind of get familiar with. But yeah, I mean, look, I know people make fun of that architect speech from the second one, and moreover, where thou to, and all that other shit. But what he's talking about is super compelling, actually.
It's not hard to follow. It's just that he uses a bunch of unnecessary words in it, but it's easy to understand.
Right. He's not speaking a foreign language.
Right. You just have to pay attention and sift through the moreover, ergo, right? Like all that bullshit transitional wording.
Right.
But he's explaining the history of it.
Right. And like the issues of like going through one door, going through another. Like that shit's actually really super interesting. And that scene has created so many fan theories as to what is going on. Yeah, like it's good storytelling. Like it really is. So look, Matrix Resurrections, do you think it could create another trilogy? Or do you think this is a one and done?
I don't know. I would have to see them. I would have to see the movie to make that kind of determination, right? Like the first movie. So I was so into the Matrix. I can't tell you how many times I've watched the Matrix Revisited, the documentary. About the making of the movie. Oh, I was into it, man. I was into all that shit.
The Matrix was the first movie I ever owned on DVD. How about that?
Yeah. It's so, and the Wachowskis had the idea. They were like, well, we want to do a trilogy, and they brought it to the producers, and they were like, slow your roll, folks. Let's see if we can get one movie off the ground first. And then when that first movie was such a massive hit, they were like, here's all the money in the world.
Yeah. That's too much too fast.
And that's the problem, right? Like you can't, I think the Wachowskis told a good story, but you can't give an artist free rein to run wild.
Yeah, you do.
That's why they have editors, right? Yeah. Like, but I digress. Like it was always planned as a trilogy. I wouldn't be surprised if this is planned as a trilogy, but we got to see what this movie does first.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, the fact that this movie is coming out on HBO Max doesn't do it any favors in terms of, box office and stuff like that. But
no, but knows? if they can see a massive response and it gets really good reviews, then they'll be fine. They're like, look, take your time. Let's get through this pandemic shit. We'll get the second one out. Like, just take your time. Like, you don't have to try to rush it out year after year after year. Just take your time. Take 2 years and just work on it. Like, really nail the shit.
Yeah.
One last thing that I will say about this franchise is, this trailer. The action looks fucking great. Like like you said, with that modern money and modern CGI, like the agents changing and stuff looks really super, like really rapid and not like rigid and stuff like that. Like everything looks really good. And they can finally do the stuff that they probably been wanting to do for 20 years.
Yeah. I loved the CG in the first Matrix. The only thing that was a problem was in the scenes where you need Neo to be Superman. He's doing his Superman thing, right? When he has to do things that the human body can't do, it looked very Rubber Band Man, right? It looked very like it looked bad.
Right.
But this, I mean, like they were pioneers in
99.
filmmaking. in 1999. They were pioneers in filmmaking, right? Like you see the rig that they had when they were doing Bullet Time. It was just a bunch of cameras all around a green screen setup, and they would do the scene, and then the cameras would all activate at different times. That's why you would be able to get like a still image, spin the whole thing around. Like it was some shit that had never been done before.
Right.
And that was 1999 money. Yo, fucking 2021 money.
You can do that shit on your computer right now for $40. Right? Like, seriously, you can do like that bullet time shit. Like, you can do all of that stuff really easily, right? You can have like 3 cameras and it will fill in data, right? Like around it. So, no, you don't like, given the imagination that Lana has, they're very well, they might have had shit in the bank. Like, we cannot do this. Like, we couldn't do this in 99 because we just simply, it wasn't possible.
That's the exciting thing, man. Like seeing what they bring to filmmaking, right? Seeing what they bring to filmmaking and how that is, and the possibility of it affecting films in the future.
Right. Like, and look, maybe
Matrix did.
Yeah. Everything looked like the Matrix for like 5 years in movies. Remember, every bad guy was like all black leather. I'm just like, all right, everybody relax. But like good and bad. But like that's how much of a cultural touchstone they were. So, I'm hoping that they like keep with the great philosophy storytelling stuff, super nail the action and fun sequences. Like, I'm all there, dude. I can't wait. This is a great trailer. And look, you got the dude from Mindhunters in it. You got Neil Patrick Harris in it. Yeah, like I'm all in. It's fantastic. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, I just got to sit down and find time to watch 3 full movies in a couple of months, which is damn near an impossible feat these days. All right, so that's it for us. And we will see you guys next time.
See ya.